Welcome. Today is Wednesday,
Yes,
October
19th.
19th.
We got there.
We got there 2022.
Woohoo.
Woohoo. So here we are. And we're talking about sports all day and all night long.
All day, every day.
All day, every day, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
It's who we are.
Woohoo.
We're full of
Zing and pep.
zing and zing and pep. So where do you want to start here?
At the zingiest and the peppiest spot that we can.
All right. How are you?
Oh, I'm great.
You're great. That's full of zing and full of pep.
You know me.
Mr. Pep. Dr. Pepper.
Well, no, but
What's that one
do you notice now that everybody's using Fort Knox when they're
it's annoying, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But whatever.
Buy our shirt.
Yeah.
We really just need to go sell them.
Probably.
Like at a corner.
Yeah.
Does Shell still tailgate at Prohibition? Somewhere else?
The mobile lot, but that's still good because it's like across the street, I think. So
the mobile lot?
Yeah.
Oh, like where the mobile homes or mobile homes? Yeah. Well, like
I think so. But it's
mobile. It's like kitty corner from it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like actually
the gas station, I think.
The gas station. I thought you were saying where the mobile homes go.
No, because there's not a place.
What?
There's not a place in the vicinity of the stadium where that is.
Yeah, there's a whole lot for those.
Oh, you mean the camper lot? No.
No. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, not there.
So Noah has a generic ringtone that sounds like the song "The Story of My Life" from One Direction.
Normal iPhone ringtone.
It's the normal iPhone. They stole it from One Direction.
I'm sure that's what they did.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So, CJ's not with us right now. He's working, and he'll join us as soon as he can. So right now you're rolling with me and Noah. So we're going to start with the zingiest, you said, or the zippiest?
Said the zingiest and the peppiest one.
Peppiest.
Which is maybe removing Dan Snyder.
Remove Dan Snyder? What about Dan Snyder? Is that zingy and peppy? I don't know.
Well, I think it is because it's kind of funny that Jim Irsay forced the hand of Goodell
to say no.
Well, no, because what happened was, okay, so there was the owners meetings, and there was an owners only meeting.
Yeah.
Where they talked about Snyder, and then I guess Jerry Jones is trying to protect Dan Snyder, and then also they talked about
Jerry Jones is his one ally.
Yeah, and right? Jerry Jones is also Roger Goodell's one ally because Jerry Jones was the only owner who voted to say that he didn't want to want to renegotiate Roger Goodell's compensation. He got so heated to the point where he told Patriots owner Robert Kraft on this subject, "Don't fuck with me."
Hey, now we only get two per show.
Well, there's one. But so he said that to Kraft.
Okay, so Dan Snyder has threatened the NFL and their owners because he's saying he has dirt on them, and has been doing some private investigation.
Well, he hired a private investigation team to get dirt on Goodell and the owners.
So he wouldn't have to be forced out of the NFL. So they're going to force him out before the dirt gets revealed. And then once he's out, he'll reveal the dirt regardless. And then whatever happens. So
I don't think he has anything.
Well, let's hope not.
No, I just don't think he does.
Because the NFL is such a clean.
No, I know.
It's such a clean organization.
But that's also the other thing that I'm saying too is I feel like if there was actual dirt I feel like Schneider would have just been like,
released something.
yeah.
Possible, but who knows? So you want him out? You want Snyder
Yeah.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's done enough at this point.
Yeah. And then, I mean, he sent that letter to all the owners where he was like, I swear to God, I did not do this. This is a hit piece. Please believe me. I'm on my knees begging you.
Yeah.
Please. It's like, shut up.
Yeah. So what did you think about the Chiefs game?
It was all right.
I think the Bills roasted them in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they were down 10 points, but then,
Well, this is what we needed to, but I mean, like, in all reality, this is kind of what we need to see this Bills team do. I mean, as much as we want to sit here and be like, oh, well, people just don't respect us, can't win in close games. We couldn't. We've done that twice.
2
Ravens
games back to back.
and Kansas City.
Yep.
So, burn it all, get the monkey off the back,
What?
do whatever,
Don't blink.
Yeah, don't blink.
We got to make that t-shirt.
Break the curse,
Nothing really matters anymore.
Other things that go along with that.
Hey, Von Miller goes, after the game, he goes, our motto is don't blink. And I was like, really? Like, that's the whole team motto? Because we've only seen him doing it.
No, they all
running
do it.
Up and down the sideline. None of them blink.
Yeah, none of the entire game. They're all just like
just open eyes.
Just open eyes. Yeah, why do you think Tremaine's able to make so many good plays?
Well, Tremaine was in a little bit of trouble, I thought. He had a little more trouble than he's had in the other games.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say is Travis Kelce gives anyone trouble, and that was their main problem.
This is a good conversation to have because the Bills had a strategy of putting Saron Neal on Kelce. That was their strategy going in, and that he played a lot of downs against Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
he's their most physical corner.
Right.
He's their tallest corner.
But anytime you put Milano or Edmonds on him and you didn't have Saron Neal on him, he was either getting a pass interference on us or he was catching the ball in the middle of the field, just like doing that stupid run.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people were praising Saron Neal for his coverage on Kelce, but I really didn't see it. I don't feel like he really made a difference compared to any of the other times that we cover Kelce. Like, he gets his numbers always.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just he didn't have 4 touchdowns and 25 yards receiving, but like Neal was on him a lot. But my biggest problem was that Neal caused the Smith-Schuster touchdown because it was him and Hamlin who ran into each other.
Yeah.
And Smith-Schuster was the one who just broke it and took it all the way while they decided to run into each other. So,
yeah,
that wasn't the greatest of all plays. And that's the play for me that sticks out of the game for Neal. Other people are saying like, hey, Neal played a great game and that kind of thing, but I don't know. They called it Smith-Schuster's breakout game.
Yeah.
And he had it was like a 40-yard reception or something.
42.
That he broke off. That was mostly rack.
Yeah.
He
was 5 for 113 with the long of 42. Yeah. Yards after catch. I mean, here's what I'll say. I mean, they did collectively enough where, Juju caught a touchdown and had over 100, and Kelce had over 100, but like it also wasn't effective because like they would have scored more. Like it was effective to keep the game close, but in the end, I think the better team won. And that was, and I mean, like,
they're so close. The two teams. They're
Yeah, but I think we're better.
razor thin.
Yeah.
At how good they are, right? And maybe the Bills are slightly better 6 weeks into the season.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's not.
Right.
I'm not saying they're like leaps and bounds ahead of the Chiefs, but I'm just saying like, we are better than them right now. I think.
Mhm.
I mean, they scored that final touchdown with in what the third?
Bills?
No, the Chiefs. They scored their final.
Well, yeah. Again,
Like, I mean, to be able, you give up that touchdown after your offense, after the Bills had already driven down the field, and then the Bills turn it over on downs, and then to have the defense go back out after just giving up that touchdown and only give up a field goal and give your offense the chance, which then they do nothing with, but then you also force a 3 and out on the next drive. I mean, I think that just shows that right there is the difference.
well, to me,
Also, Von Miller.
Leslie Frazier's the top coordinator in football right now.
Yeah,
in my opinion, like, he's at the top of his game, and if I'm him, I never want to go back to head coaching.
I mean, 81 points against is just unheard of. I mean, that's insane.
Through 6 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Yeah. Even though it's through 6, I mean, that's still.
No. I just wanted to clarify what you were talking about. So,
I mean, the closest is Denver.
Well, the closest was. Oh, for that.
I think maybe.
I don't know.
But I mean,
so I think though. People keep talking about Frazier getting a second chance and Frazier getting a second chance at head coaching.
I don't think
if I'm Frazier, I don't know why I would leave this coordinator job. Like, I think I said that about Dable last year too, but Dable was a different situation. Like, Frazier's older,
right? Because I mean,
he's
Frazier,
not going to spend 20 years somewhere.
Right. I mean, Frazier could just. I mean, he's also technically the assistant head coach too.
Right.
So it's like he could just. I mean, he could just hold on to this, until he wants to retire and just win a bunch of Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And
Right. So speaking of the Bills Chiefs game, it was the most watched Week 6 CBS game in 15 years. It averaged 25.4 million viewers. Most watched CBS game.
Okay. So I'm like, only Week 6. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, for Week 6.
Oh, it is just.
It was just Week 6 because I think like when you get more towards the end of the year, it's probably not like Week 7 that's higher, like a Week 7 game. It's probably like a Week 15 game that has
the games that matter. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But they said it was so CBS.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, that's a lot, honestly. That is
25.4. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I thought so too.
But I mean, also that's the way it should be. I mean, like, they, as much as they just kept freaking talking about it and wouldn't shut up. I mean, Romo was right though.
God, Romo was terrible. Go ahead.
I'm so happy we won't have to hear them for the rest of the year. But
no, we will. But moving on.
When they were talking about, like, this is the next. I think this is the next Brady and Manning.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's established now.
Whether we want it to be or not, everyone is saying it is. So it's going to be.
But I think that's also been proven.
No, I agree.
By, like, you have the most watched Week 6 games, but also that's like nothing. Like, I would like to just see that in comparison anyway to other games, see what that looked like.
4:30 games get higher ratings. Did you know they get higher ratings than Monday night and Sunday night football?
It's because people just leave the TV on.
That's only part of it, right?
To us, like,
the other part is that it's 1:30 on the West Coast.
Oh, that's true. So if the people miss the 1:00 games, they're like, "Oh, well, there's football at."
Right. And so as you go, it's earlier It's
Right.
earlier and earlier, and so you're not sitting there like we are going, "Where's my 60 minutes?" You know,
Right.
like you know, we're they're going, "Oh, we're going to be done at 4:30. We can go
Yeah.
hike in the Sierra Madre or whatever."
Sierra Madre.
What is it? The Sierra
I don't know.
Plateau or something. Um, so downer from the game, Mackenzie.
Yeah. I mean, you did see though Josh not go to him for a little bit, and then Josh did throw the ball to him, and he finally caught one. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think you'd take Mackenzie out, but they did end up giving a little bit more time to Shakir.
I think you start Shakir in the slot. I think you start Shakir and have Mackenzie
I think you just keep juggling them, and you just kind of just
go with the hot hand or something.
Yeah, and I think you can do that because Shakir has shown that.
The thing,
I mean, Shakir doesn't. To be quite honest, Shakir doesn't really have a lot in the wheelhouse. Like he doesn't. He's just super fast and shifty, but like outside of that, he can just catch
and he can
well.
catch.
Yeah, he can catch, and he's fast and he's shifty. But like outside of that, yeah. But
what do you?
Well, we also haven't seen him like do it consistently. I mean, he only has a couple catches on the year. I'm just saying, like, there hasn't. He's only really had that one good catch, but a lot of them have been to the side where he's kind of been open or they've been like screens. So it's like he hasn't.
Oh, he's at a couple really good plays though.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he's had the one good catch.
Here's what I'm going to say: is he has played better than Mackenzie, like in my opinion.
I just think you can just keep juggling them, and then I mean, if Shakir takes off, then that's who you ride. Or if Crowder takes off, with Josh, then that's who you ride. Or
Crowder's out for the year.
Oh yeah, not Crowder. But I think if you can just keep juggling Mackenzie and Shakir, and then whoever just is playing better, I think that's just who you roll with.
I guess that's fair.
Because I mean, until you get Stevenson back, until you can throw Stevenson in the mix, that's who. I mean, I think you just juggle them. I think you just want to just give Josh as many options as possible.
But you're talking about Shakir having never proven himself, but Stevenson has never even set his foot on an NFL field during the regular season.
Yes, he has. He has. He just hasn't done it a lot. He just hasn't been healthy. But I mean, I
remember him. Okay, I remember him running directly into one of his blockers when he was returning a kick.
I just think you just try. I mean, I think getting Stevenson back gives you a returner, gives you somebody back there, and then maybe you can
possible deep threat. I think he's an outside guy, right?
Yeah,
he's not gonna play slot.
No. So
I mean, I know he's short and everything, but sometimes short guys play. I mean, look at Deshaun. He wasn't a slot guy, was he?
No, I think he was outside, but it
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like to thank our unofficial sponsor, Coca-Cola.
I just think you just keep juggling what you have, and you just keep trying. I mean, it's just one game for Mackenzie. He also has. I mean, that's been the first time where he's looked that bad to this.
The thing that I just didn't like was more than the drop was just the total missed touchdown where he tripped. It didn't look like a trip to me. It looked like he tried to jump off of his toes to make it look like a more exciting touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know what that. I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. That's what it looked like. I went back and I watched it like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, "What are you doing?" It's nice of everybody to say he tripped, but I don't think he tripped. He was trying to jump to make it look more exciting so he could, be a little dirty. And
I don't know exactly what happened. I mean, it looked like he somehow got his cleats planted in somehow. Right. I don't know exactly. Right. So Yeah, that was just weird. I mean, it wasn't a good game for him. And I mean, you also didn't see him on the field for at least a quarter or two. So,
Yeah.
or at least Josh just did not look his way once until like the fourth quarter when he had that good catch for
Yeah.
the first down. But I mean, I don't think, I mean, you can start Shakir, but I also don't think you fully just take McKenzie out. I mean, I still think you have to have as many options as you possibly can for Josh, because if Shakir isn't getting it done, then you have to move to McKenzie, or you have to go to a 2 tight end set with Quentin Morris.
Tommy
You know,
Sweeney had a catch.
yeah. Whoa. Don't understand everybody's obsession with him. Cool. He can block well. Neat.
I don't think he blocks any better or worse than
I would rather,
than Knox or Morris, honestly.
I like Morris better. I just think
I do too. I mean, he's more athletic.
he's a little thin and it doesn't have a lot of strength.
Right.
But, I mean,
he's more like an H-back
he at
than,
least knows
than
what
he
he's
is
doing.
a tight end. Like
Yeah.
a true tight
Well,
end.
wasn't he a wide receiver?
Who bulked up?
Yeah, or a quarterback or something. I don't know. I feel like he wasn't a tight end his entire time.
Well, I remember them saying he was a quarterback in high school, which is about 90% of NFL players.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they were the best player on their team.
Right.
So, yeah, they were the quarterback. And on defense, they were probably the middle linebacker or the safety.
Yeah.
Or the defensive end.
Yeah.
Right? But they played both sides. And they were the best player. And
right. Yeah.
Played every snap.
Really athletic.
You know? So McKenzie was the only downer. The other thing I didn't love was them not going back to Singletary in the second half when he had a pretty good first half. I thought he played well.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they benched Moss. I don't mean benched. I mean didn't even dress him.
Yeah.
The people theorize that that's because they're going to trade him. Fine, trade him for a 6th round pick.
Right.
You know, but
yeah, he had 17 carries on 85 yards. I mean, this was probably his best running day.
Averaging 5 yards per carry. Yeah. And he's averaged around 5 all season.
Mm-hmm. But this was definitely his best running day all season. And you know, I was kind of thinking
most of his carries were in the beginning.
I know. It was still good. Like it was, you know, he was still a good day for him. That's still a really good day.
Yeah.
But I think it was his, even though he didn't get a lot of chances in the second half, it was still his best running day. And it was kind of overall the best running day I think they've had
for the Bills.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to count like Josh when, you know, Josh has had good days on the ground already. So, but I'm not going to really count that, because that's mostly just him doing it by himself. But this was definitely the best day with the running backs, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, Cook did fine. He barely played, right?
Yeah, but
I mean, they left Singletary in for most of it, which was great.
But 17 carries and averaging 5 yards. I mean, that's exactly what you need him to do.
13 or 14 of those were in the first half, though, and I would have liked to seen them go back to the carries in the second half, just because it was working, and because at some point you're going to need to be balanced. So speaking of balance,
but I don't think that was the time to be balanced. I don't think the second half was the time to be balanced because of how close the game was. I mean, when Kansas City scored that field goal to end the half, I mean, I wasn't comfortable. And I don't think the Bills were comfortable.
I was a mess the whole time.
I mean,
I was completely stressed out and completely.
I mean, it kind of felt like here we go again, especially when that was literally scored with 16 seconds and 3 plays.
I didn't feel that because of the comeback the week before against Baltimore.
But here's what I'll say for getting away from the running game in the second half was you also then had Josh in the second half.
Well,
and then you also, though, this is what I was talking about last week, was they figured out they figured out their own way of not taking their foot off the gas pedal. And like, sure, they scored a touchdown, then Kansas City answered, and then they turned it over on downs.
Mhm.
But I mean, to be able to fight back the way that they did, to then go down and just score on them.
Well, you have
after the defense forced a 3 and out,
a 98.9-yard drive, right? And then,
that's the one where they go up 10-7 to end right before they, with 16 seconds left.
Oh, didn't the Bills have a 99-yard drive?
They had a 96-yard drive.
Oh, my mistake.
That's what I was saying.
But it then they had the penalty, took it back to the 1. So it was really a 102-yard drive.
Oh, okay. Well, this says 96 that they went
because they started at the 4.
But I'm just saying, like, if the script calls for just unleashing Josh, they kind of seem to know how to do that, but also limiting him at the same time. Like, it's really weird.
It's controlled.
They're
now.
a very controlled team. That's a good way to put it. Like, I think across the board, because it's like when they put their foot on the gas pedal, they're not winning by 50. It's just like they're going to win.
They're like, we got this.
Yeah, because I mean, like, when they scored that touchdown,
Miami was a wake up call for that.
I think it was a good punch in the mouth, because I think now they've turned into like killers. Because like like I said, they're not going to win by 50. I mean, we would like them to do that.
They have.
They have
by 50, but
I mean,
by 30.
Okay, they're going to put. Here's what I'll say for the rest of the year: they're going to put up points on the team that they're going to put up points on.
Mm-hmm.
But if the defense, like I think, like the Green Bay game, I don't think will be close. But it's like if they have a good defense, I think the Cincinnati game might be a little close.
I'm still listening. I'll be right back.
But what?
Talking to the camera. I'm right here.
I was just wondering what you were doing. But I think like when we get into the playoffs, like I think those games are going to be close, but I still think they're going to win, because I think the one thing that really solidified it was when the Bills got that touchdown and they were up 24-20. Stephon Diggs looked at Von Miller and was like, end it.
Right.
And they did.
And he went out
and it's like,
got
I don't think
3 pressures and 2 sacks.
But I don't think you have Stephon Diggs saying that to anyone last year. So
was there someone for him to say it to?
Well, no, I think that's also my point as well, as like, this team is different. And the addition of Von Miller and the growth of Josh Allen and the growth of Stephon Diggs and their connection. I mean, it's just been insane. Josh Allen is the MVP right now, no doubt.
He's won offensive player of the week
twice, 2 weeks in a row.
The past 2 weeks in a row.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, Stephon Diggs is the best wide receiver in the NFL right now. I'm not taking him over anyone, in my opinion. I don't know.
Not for the level of chemistry that he and Josh have created, and it's taken them. I mean, they had the chemistry, I think, in the first year, but it was more like, let's have fun.
Yeah.
Right. And like, let's go out. Let's be bros.
Yeah.
Let's get really excited and just see what we can do. And then the second year, a little more mellow, but Gabe Davis started to show up. Dawson Knox started to show up. Dable was fooling around with different things and that kind of thing. So it wasn't just throws to Diggs all the time. And then this year, their chemistry is, like you said, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Diggs on Von Miller's podcast for Bleach Report. And, like Diggs says all the time now, like that, he really gives thanks to Josh Allen for changing his career.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's true, because he was good in Minnesota, but the way he's good here is just like another level. And I think
Again, it's a controlled thing. It's a control thing because
Yeah.
in Minnesota, he had the temper, he had the diva reputation that he couldn't shake, even if
Yeah.
he wanted to. That's why he got traded. That's why they drafted Justin Jefferson. And that's why this year, once they got rid of Mr. Grumpy Pants and have a new coordinator in there,
Yeah.
Jefferson and Thielen and Irv Smith are
And
all
Cousins.
balling out and, you know, all that kind of thing because, oh, that's talent.
Right. It's like just throw them the ball.
Right.
Which I kind of like. I kind of feel like Dorsey's different in Dable in that way. I feel like Dable was more stick to the game plan. We're gonna put these guys in the places of the game plan. I feel like Dorsey does that typical. He'll do the first 15, and you can see it where he'll call certain plays.
Well, they scored that way in the first 5 games.
I know,
with
and
the
it's
scripted
great.
with the scripted calls.
And it's great because but you do get to see that they go through a variety of different things just to see how the defense reacts to what they're doing. But after that, Dorsey seriously is a freak because I don't understand, how he's able to make these adjustments on the fly like that, where it's like the very next drive, if they just went 3 and out, they're able to then go down and score because they're like, oh, we saw the cornerback do this when this happened, so we're just going to exploit that for 3 plays and get 60 yards out of it.
Right.
And now we're in the red zone.
Well, that's what happened on the Gabe Davis touchdown.
Right.
So on that touchdown, the beautiful Gabe Davis, is there such thing as a non-beautiful Gabe Davis touchdown?
I mean, when you have Josh Allen throwing the ball, and I also think we got to start giving Josh Allen credit for how well he's throwing the ball.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec. But the beautiful Gabe Davis touchdown, where Josh just threw it down the end. I will give Tony Romo some props for this because the 2 plays before that, he said that route to Davis is wide open.
Yeah.
But Josh was throwing to the left side.
Yeah.
And then they ran Davis again. And Josh was just like,
yeah, that was like so easy.
Right.
I mean,
it was gorgeous. All the different angles and views and stuff that you got from
Josh
TikTok
put it in just the most perfect, like the only spot, just put it exactly where only Gabe Davis could,
right.
Like not to use
Same
the generic
Knox.
quote, but put it in the literal only place where it was up. If it was up to Gabe Davis, where if he dropped it, it's on him.
It's because you're not tracking the ball.
Right. If he caught it, then that's a touchdown. Like
right.
Those were the 2 options.
It was the same with the Knox TV.
Yeah.
And
some of those throws,
period, no other quarterback can make.
Yeah.
Even Mahomes. But Mahomes makes throws that Josh can't make. Again,
because Mahomes has a different type of magic. He makes something out of nothing. I think better than Josh does.
Mahomes does the arm angles better too. But Josh did arm angles twice in this game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if he's adding that to his repertoire, like where he's moving his arm to avoid a guy knocking it down, because knockdowns seem to be a problem with him this year. But
it seems to be they just seem to be predicting him when he does those quick ones. Yeah, when he does those quick ones.
Yeah.
But I think that's also because of how he throws the ball. I mean, I think that's the way he throws the ball. He throws when he's throwing those quick throws, he does graze the top of the offensive line's heads kind of thing, giving them haircuts. So I think
that's what you can do when you're tall.
Yeah.
And you have a cannon.
Yeah. Right. Which I mean, I don't really, that's why I'm when it comes to the knockdowns, it's whatever. Just don't, turn it into an interception. But, I think though, this is what we're being critical about, don't think we'll have much to worry about for the rest of the year.
Well,
I also don't
let's
think we'll
talk
have
about
much
the
to
rest of the
worry.
year.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have much to worry about the rest of the year anyway. And also, I would like to point out that I was the person on this podcast that said I would not bat an eyelash if this team went undefeated into the bye week.
Well, they didn't.
Well, they
I'm
would have.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I
I'm
think
kidding.
they would have.
If they would have won, you mean?
Yeah, they would have if the Miami game wasn't dumb. That's what I'll have to say about that. So I'm going to take credit and say that they went undefeated, and I was right. But
yeah. So, okay, we'll do this later.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Bills cutting Arthur Smith. This is huge. No, I'm kidding. Arthur Smith.
You mean Andre?
Andre, yes.
Arthur Smith is a head coach, isn't he? Or a
Or
coordinator?
was.
Or was, yeah.
No, head coach for Atlanta? Or was?
He was, I think. He was.
I don't know. Anyway.
Doesn't matter. Yeah,
So,
Andre Smith. Doesn't really
Andre
matter.
Smith.
That's probably
he got cut.
That's going to be Trey's spot. I think because Trey's coming back after the bye week. I think that's.
Oh, his roster spot?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have a roster spot because he was suspended. Remember?
Yeah, but
Andre Smith was suspended. He didn't count towards the roster.
Oh, okay.
They'll
Well,
figure out
might-
Cam Lewis or somebody.
He might find his way back to the practice squad or something.
I was thinking that. I was wondering if they did that and they're gonna re-sign him, or if
Probably not, though.
or if they're pretty mad about the PEDs and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
What are you saying false to? What are you saying false to?
come on, Trey, speak up.
Yeah,
You could have joined.
calling him out. Anyway,
You could have joined. Could have joined the show tonight. We can invite you right now.
anyway,
Trades.
Yeah.
Trading deadline will be 2 days after the next game. No, it's the day after the next game.
no, it's probably
It's
there's
November 1st. The Bills play on Halloween.
No, the Bills play on the 30th.
On the 30th. Okay.
Yeah.
So the
it's
Bills play on the
Tuesday.
30th.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna
So
say
it's
the
November
Tuesday.
1st. So it's 1 day after? Is that how you would say? It's not 2 days.
Yeah, it's one.
It's not the day after, but it's 1 day.
It's 1 day after the day after. I don't know.
I don't know either. So that's what it is. It's so
It's
the Bills play on the
Tuesday,
30th.
Whatever.
Then there's the 31st.
Yeah.
And then
there's the first.
The first, which is the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So trade deadline. There's allegedly
I mean, it's not, but okay, it's technically false. Yes, it's technically false. But
if they would have won, he would have been
Right.
right.
right. Correct. That's
That's
my
what he's
point.
saying.
If the Miami game wasn't stupid,
Like-
I would have been right. Because the games that we thought that they were going to lose were Tennessee and Kansas City, and that didn't happen. And that's why I'm taking credit for it, because we were like, Miami.
I said 4-2 or 3-3. So
Yes.
good for you.
I
But
said,
that
you
was
know,
more of a possibility to me
I
than
was
it
like-
was an actuality. Like it was just
Oh, yeah. But I just want to say that I was at least like, something to think about.
Here's what I'm gonna ask. Did you know they were this good?
No. But I don't think you did either. So I don't.
I said 3-3, so clearly I didn't.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
said 3-3 or 4-2 going into the bye.
Sounds
So
like Trumpian logic. If you ask me. Yeah, I'm putting my feelings first, and my feelings are facts. So
that's right. That's right.
yes,
Um,
I'm right. Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
They are undefeated. Actually,
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
it was what the game that you saw wasn't real. There you go. Just didn't exist.
Which game?
The Miami game. They actually won that game.
They won the Miami game.
Yeah, they won the game. I'm telling you a flat out lie that you can prove by just looking it up on Google. But you're not gonna
But
do
you're
that.
just gonna keep repeating it. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's not talk politics. So because we agree for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think Trey will be back after the bye?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they have basically until the bye to put him on the roster or IR him. So they're definitely going to put him on the roster. But do you think he's ready to play? He'll be ready to play.
I mean,
and good to go.
I think they said he was doing well and he was like coming along faster than he expected.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're just gonna take it easy. I mean, I think that's just what you do. But I think we'll see him back for Green Bay. And if he's not even back by Green Bay, I mean, he'll definitely be back by the game after Green Bay, which is that No, that's Minnesota. I think it's Minnesota.
It's the Jets.
Oh, that's right. Because there's an away game, and then
Bay,
there's the two home
Jets,
games.
Minnesota, Cleveland, Detroit.
Yeah.
Speaking
of really quick about Thanksgiving, did you hear that the NFL is going to add a Black Friday game?
Yeah, that's dumb.
But they did bring up a good point, though. They're like, the only thing that really happens on Thanksgiving is football. So they're like, we're just going to add more to it. That's kind of like what they said.
Well,
and I'm like, that's fair.
Work should give us off Thursday and Friday then.
Yeah.
I mean, if the NFL is taking it off, they kind of dictate a lot of what happens in this country. So work should give us the time off.
Yeah, I also think work should just give us the time off just because it's Black Friday. And be like, you know what?
Because you want to get up and go shopping at 5 a.m. Because
no, I want to
go on your laptop too.
I know. It's more I like watching people.
Yeah.
Mostly.
I taught you that one. So that sounded creepy. Yeah, I taught you how to stalk people. So Christian McCaffrey.
I'm gonna sit here and watch this video before you leave.
Christian McCaffrey is 26 years old. Only him and Chubb have. You all right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Have 5 games with at least 100 yards from scrimmage this season. They're the only 2 players. 2 running backs. Only 2 running backs, obviously, because quarterbacks throw for more than 100 yards. Mm-hmm. Receivers have received for more than 100. So out of the running backs, entire running backs in the league, it's him and Chubb, who have 100 yards from scrimmage. You're not trading for Chubb.
Right.
Trading for McCaffrey, I know we talked about this last week, but trading for McCaffrey, have you changed your mind? Have you thought about it anymore? Have you thought about my brilliant way I described, how it would affect the salary cap and what it would do for them and how they can renegotiate his contract next year?
Yeah.
Where it would only count $5 million towards the cap if they renegotiated for next year.
I mean, if you're gonna get them for sure on the cheap, then I'm all for it. But that's not what I'm hearing that they want. They want multiple first round picks.
No. Yeah, Schrager was.
So
Schrager was saying that's what they're asking for. But here's what I'm hearing now is that in order for them to get rid of him, them being Carolina, in order for them to get rid of him, that it would cost a first round pick.
No.
They want a first round pick.
No.
So you're not willing to give up this potential 32nd pick of the draft. This isn't the 4th pick.
I just don't feel like it's worth it. The options that they already have. I mean, it's not that I don't know. It seems like a lot. Maybe if it's just a first round pick, 1 for 1.
And
yeah, that's not it. If they want Moss, and a first round pick, then that's fine. But yeah, if it's 1 for 1 and Zach Moss, then we can
Hey, CJ,
make the deal.
you need to connect your mic or cam before I can add you.
Huh?
Oh, that's Noah.
No.
You're good.
Yeah, no, we're good.
How was work?
Work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of running around. I assumed you guys were just talking about my win in fantasy this week, right? This is what the whole podcast.
I won
Last
too.
45 minutes.
Finally.
Oh,
Did you beat me?
No, I beat Grandma.
I
You
am
beat
now
me,
one. I
then.
am now 1-5. Currently on a winning streak. On my way back up
Wait, who did I lose
to
to? I don't even know.
excellence.
You're 1-5.
Yes,
Oh, what happened? I fell off this
I
year.
gave Malia all my draft guys during the draft.
I thought you had a good draft too.
A lot of running backs.
You lost to Tim.
I lost to Tim. He's a
Pretty bad.
powerhouse, isn't he?
Yeah, he scored 4,000 points. So
Oof.
Yeah, his guys had a day, and my defensive guys did like nothing. So, anyway, yes, we already hit on that, CJ. You just hopped in when we were done talking about it.
Yeah.
So,
I figured-
suck it. No.
I just figured you spent extensive time on it.
we did. We
Okay.
did.
All right.
We did. You can
That's
go
fine.
back
As
and
long as that's the
rewatch.
case, then I'm happy. I'm happy with it.
So we're actually talking about, again, if your thoughts on trading for McCaffrey have changed either way, positive or negative, because I don't remember what you guys, I think you both said no.
I think I said yes if it was like a second or a third, but I think for a first or probably multiple
Exactly.
firsts, right? I mean, isn't that
It's not multiple firsts anymore. They want at least a first because they're trading the face of their franchise. And even though he's been hurt, he's still done a lot in the community and he's been the face of their franchise anyway.
yeah.
And so they're really hesitant about trading him unless they get enough back to say to their fans, hey, this was worthwhile.
I mean, if we have the 32nd overall pick, I lean more towards it though.
That's exactly what I was trying to tell Noah. Like the 32nd pick in the draft, if you have it and you want it because you got McCaffrey, okay.
That's even crazier. I'm just like, my mind was like, it's going to be 31, 32, right? So it's
You
the
would
value
think
at
so.
that point. I'd rather hit on him for the value you'd get at that point in the draft anyways.
Right. Because in the second round,
I'll get
think
the
about
same
it this
guy,
year. In
yeah.
the second round, they drafted James Cook.
Right. I'll get the same guy in the second round that I wanted in the first round.
Right,
At
and
that point.
McCaffrey's only 26.
Yeah. No, I lean more towards it for one, I don't see them doing it, to be honest. I don't see that happening. But
Well, Bean was part of the party who drafted him in Carolina.
I forgot about that connection.
Okay, another connection. The Carolina general manager is Dan Morgan, who worked under Bean until last year.
Wow. No, they're probably talking about it. I mean, obviously the offense is doing well right now.
You can always do better. That's my thought.
I agree. A question would be, would he be involved enough? You know what I mean? Like I don't know if he wouldn't be obviously what he is in Carolina, but with Josh being Josh, there's not much. I don't know. I mean, I guess he'd do what Singletary does now, but probably a lot better. But Singletary does that on limited touches. You know what I mean? And I don't think you're going to give McCaffrey, some crazy more amount of touches a game. So it's just
but we were actually talking about this. Singletary had 17 touches last week.
Yeah. I I mean, I think McCaffrey's more used to about 30.
Well, that's because what else does Carolina have?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You're cutting his touches in half.
Well, good. You're reducing his risk of injury then.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, I'm fine with it if it's a late first.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. No,
I mean, unless Josh goes
fully
down, it's
agree.
going to be a late first.
I fully agree. Yeah. Yep. At this moment, beating KC, I think, makes that more real now than last week.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about KC as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Last thing on McCaffrey. Well, two other things on McCaffrey. So he's the youngest player or the fastest player to reach 3,000 rushing yards and 3,000 receiving yards in their career. Well, it's kind of a neat stat.
Yeah, that's a real one.
Yeah, bring him here. Bring him over.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel. I mean, I don't know. When you have someone who's that dynamic, if you can keep them healthy, which the Bills are known to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a terrible idea. It's just, I don't know. I don't see him doing it.
I mean, I'm all for it at this point. Why not?
How about OBJ? Because Von Miller doubled down on it yesterday and guaranteed he's coming here.
Yeah, well, if they get him on a 1-year deal on the cheap and he just comes here to just chase a ring with Von again, I mean, that's fine with me. I mean, that kind of also then solves our McKenzie and Shakir.
What's a cheap 1-year deal? $10 million?
Well, they don't have that.
Well, that's what I'm asking. What is a cheap 1-year deal?
No, he would have to take what we want to give him. What we can give him. Right now, they're $1.4 million under the cap. And if they traded for McCaffrey, that would take $600,000 away from that.
Yeah.
They traded for Saquon too.
We're not going to trade for McCaffrey and Saquon is like $6 million cap.
No, I'm making
it 5-1 right now. They're not moving him at all.
Right.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just joking.
We're
going to trade for Saquon. We're going to sign OBJ. We're going to get McCaffrey.
But imagine the offense with OBJ and McCaffrey added to it.
Oh, yeah. No, it would be amazing. Yeah. I just think, I don't know why, but I feel like if anything's going to happen, it's going to be that OBJ signs here.
Well, and that doesn't need to happen before the trade deadline.
Right.
So,
and I think again, though, that also has to do with Josh. And I think also if they lost to Kansas City, that I wouldn't be thinking that about OBJ as much either.
Now, there's another thing that's roaming in the ether is that Kelsey renegotiated his contract and opened up $3.5 million on Kansas City's cap. So there may be another place that OBJ might be interested in going, who may be interested in OBJ.
Okay, but you just lost. But they just lost to us.
Right, so wouldn't they want a good receiver?
Yeah, but why would OBJ want to go there? Because they're not going to win a ring.
Maybe he thinks that with his help they will. Just look, us winning in the regular season, we know this from last year. Us winning in the regular season doesn't mean we're going to win in the postseason.
I know.
Right? So, I mean, we can't sit here and just say that, but really the other two teams who are in contention for McCaffrey, to swing back to him, are allegedly the Rams, who have tons of picks and tons of cap space.
And they also want to move Darrell Henderson so they can give up another running back.
Well, they want to move Akers.
Or that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay. But Akers is bad.
What do you mean bad?
He's bad. He's averaged 3 yards per carry since the
I think their line isn't that good.
He's okay, but why is Henderson playing better? he's having better stats than Akers has since he came back from his injury middle of last year.
Yeah.
I think Akers just needs to get out of there. I think, I mean, Akers has shown flashes with them and has shown that he is good. That
I
you know,
mean,
he can.
He showed it in his rookie season.
What's
It
crazy
hasn't
to
shown
me-
Well, he also
anything
got
since.
hurt, and then
came back and has
Yeah.
averaged 3 yards per
Yeah.
carry since. So I don't know that he's good anymore. Like that
Yeah, I
he's
don't know.
attractive.
I think he's one of those though.
Zach
that
Moss
might need a
averages
change
3
of
yards per
scenery.
carry.
Yeah.
What?
I said I think he's just one of those guys that needs a change of scenery.
Well, I don't think Carolina's going to take Akers for
Well, it would
McCaffrey, but
Well, yeah, I mean it's not going to be 1-for-1, but I mean, like I was just saying, like I don't feel like the Bills want to give up Singletary. I don't know. I mean, I know Singletary is entering a contract year, but
this is his contract year.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like he's in a contract year.
I think he's gone. I don't think they're keeping him. I think that's why they drafted Cook. I think they're planning on Cook being their number one running back next year.
I don't know.
That's my thought in signing a free agent, you know, and that kind of thing. But I think they're planning on Cook. I think that's why they took him, because Cook is the actual kind of back they want, and Cook is a watered down McCaffrey.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I just think OBJ is just going to have him more, but you know, we've kind of talked about this for.
Yeah. No, that's fine. So Sam Darnold's coming back.
Woo.
Yeah, he'll be our backup next year.
That'd
I have this feeling.
be great.
Probably.
Humbling.
Yes, humbling, but also good for him and for us, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because if there's anything that scares me, it's having to play your backup quarterback.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know?
Well, right. Yeah. I mean, Case Keenum obviously isn't going to
Thank
do
you.
the thing that Josh.
No, but
Damn.
he looks like his arm is washed.
Yeah,
Darnold?
he's old.
No, Keenum.
Oh.
So like if Allen went down, this is my scariest thing. They don't have a contingency plan for Allen because it's supposed to be Keenum. And Keenum looks washed every time he's in there. Like when they put him in no pressure fourth quarter situations both times, he's been terrible.
Yeah.
And he wasn't any better in the preseason. And I mean, that's why I'm hoping that they level up again next year on backup quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it'll be like getting Trubisky like when they had Trubisky last year.
Right. I think Darnold's closer to a Josh than, well, maybe not.
No, I think Darnold's better than Trubisky.
I'm just saying closer to a type of player that
Oh,
Josh is than
yeah.
Trubisky is, but
Yeah.
depends on what part of
But-
your game they're talking about, I guess. It would be great, I think, to get somebody. But
I mean,
we can
even
talk
if it's
about
not
that in a-
Darnold, I mean, just having somebody who isn't 35 and can't throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field would probably be the best. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they could even draft somebody. I mean, there are.
No, and that's what I said. I would love them to draft somebody.
I mean, they could draft somebody. I mean, like, I think, like, they could get. I mean, there are a couple guys. There are like
Who
a
are,
Will
like,
Rogers.
fourth
Yeah,
round
there's like a
guys.
Will Rogers out of like that. I think he's out of Texas A&M or Mississippi State. But there's like a couple.
tons of guys.
There's like a couple of those guys where it's like
Mhm.
they would be better than
Keenum
Keenum and also the other guy that they drafted a couple years ago.
who's
Yeah,
not
Fromm.
here anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they would be better than drafting him and would be better than Keenum, but obviously they're not going to be better than Josh.
Right.
So, but I mean, like drafting a
But I would
quarterback
rather
in the
draft
fourth or
the
fifth.
quarterback and then
that's fine.
have a guy have a real
Yeah, because
backup.
quarterbacks are also expensive too.
Backups, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, just across the board. I mean, unless like you need like a prove it deal, you're probably getting at least 8 million or more as a backup. 5.
I don't know.
I mean, that's still
I
a
have no
lot.
idea.
They're still. I mean, I feel like a backup quarterback is getting a
Keenum is
lot.
probably making like 8 or something, but
I mean, they're just expensive. Just
they
you know.
are, and that's probably why they have Keenum. But
Yeah, I mean,
they need a better contingency if Josh goes down. I'll just leave it at that. So
yeah, because I mean, if Josh goes down, you're not. Yeah,
you're done.
Keenum's making 3.5. I mean, that's still expensive.
That's not though for a backup, but it's because he's terrible.
Yeah, it's just
I didn't expect him to be this bad. I guess that's where I'm at with Keenum. Like I just didn't expect him to be this bad. Oh, speaking of the trade deadline, other people who I've been talking with over Twitterverse and Bill's Mafiaverse, and you're on mute, CJ, if you're talking to us. Okay. Other people are talking about the Bills trading for offensive line help.
why?
Most specifically, people think we have a problem at guard.
I don't think that's true.
I don't feel that way.
I don't either. I wanted to get your guys' take.
I've not seen anything that has made me feel like overly concerned.
That's like the least of my worries. Right?
Well, they doubled down on Bates by giving him a 4-year deal. Right.
Yeah, but he's good.
And he's been fine. And people are just saying the Bills can't run the ball. Like that's the basic gist. The Bills can't run the balls. Okay. We have a bad running.
Here's the thing though. Here's the difference.
That's the Bills, that's what I think too, CJ, is we just don't
want to.
But also they do better pulling the guys and running to the outside. Like getting like Morse and Saffold, or getting Morse and Bates like to pull and go to the outside. Like they're so good at doing that, and that's how they get their yards on the run game. So I feel like they first, I agree. Yeah, we also don't run the ball like that, but also when they run it to the outside, they just do better.
Is that they don't?
That's fine.
They don't follow the guard or run between the center.
But they do when when they end up going to the outside and they end up using them as blockers. Right. It's just when they go inside, they just have difficulty. But that's also not. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
I agree with that.
I
agree. I was just trying to see where you guys were at with that.
Long as you're, to me, with this offense, as long as you're going forwards, it's fine.
If there's a problem on the offensive line, it's Spencer Brown.
He just hasn't seemed right this year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not saying like long term that he'll be a problem. And I think even Quisenberry might be a better answer, or enough of an answer, if Spencer Brown turns out to go downhill even further. But he seems too tall. To me, because he can't get low enough, and guys are just flying around him.
That's true. I mean, I think Ingram had one of the knockdowns and a couple pressures around Brown.
They're just going after him on that side. Teams are.
Yeah, I also think though he hasn't seemed the same since that injury. So I think
last year.
Yeah, I think that's been a problem. I don't know if it's like confidence, because he's not confident that his knee's going to hold up or whatever, or
yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, I mean that was
What do you, CJ? You have anything?
Yeah, any thoughts on Brown?
Again, I haven't seen anything stand out to me as far as I was trying to think back to when there was a game a few weeks ago where I want to say might have been the Miami game where Josh got sacked at like a real and opportune time, and I was trying to think who was the cause of that, but I couldn't think of it. So like to me, besides that, there wasn't much else that like stuck out in my mind about like a bad offensive line play.
If you look at when Josh runs and where Josh runs, he's usually like in the panic running because of what's coming from Spencer Brown's side.
Yeah.
That's at least what I see. You know, I don't sit here and watch the tape and have all 22 and whatever, but I mean, that's what
Spencer
it
Brown
looks like to me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Spencer Brown has done the best this year.
And like I said, I don't know if that means you bench him or you throw Quisenberry in there or Quessenberry, whatever. Or you go out, you get another right tackle and do like a Saffold kind of thing where you could just plug and play, or you just say to him, "We're with you." You know,
I don't know.
Like, we're with you on this. We want you to be our starting right tackle. You know.
Yeah, he just hasn't looked right. I don't know. I don't know if it's been that injury or what's been going on. And I mean, I don't know. They definitely have been playing Quessenberry though more than Brown, or at least have been trying.
Well,
to
Brown
really
went down
swap them
last
out.
game, and he went down in the Miami game. And there was another game he went down in as well.
I think he went down in the Pittsburgh game too, or he didn't play a lot. But
yeah, I don't know. So that, like I said, if there's anyone on the line who I think they need help with, it's right tackle.
Yeah,
I
don't think guard help, or I don't even think.
I mean, Dawkins is fantastic.
I see there are people.
Dawkins is fantastic. He's wicked athletic. Guys don't get around him. He's been playing really well. I mean, the Dawkins, Saffold, Morse has just been great.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in the Pittsburgh game, like seeing Morse and Saffold just like
moving mountains of earth.
Well, and then they're able to run so fast as big guys.
Bates is pretty quick too.
Yeah, they all are. Really. I mean, it's when they get them to pull, it's just insane how fast they are and how much they can get out in front. But that's the other thing is like also Singletary knows how to follow behind them when they're doing that. Like he has this like hesitation where I don't know. We'll see.
He's not a huge name in the league, but someone is going to give him a contract.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a team out there who is going to be willing to pay him and say he is, you know, an X factor who can be an X factor. Yeah. You know.
Well, I think we'll see at the end of the season.
What'd you think about the Arizona trade for Robbie Anderson?
Well, I mean, it makes sense for them to do with Marquise Brown going down for the year. So
Hopkins is back.
I think that'll be actually a good combination because I think Robbie Anderson's better than Marquise Brown. Do you agree with that, CJ?
What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't think Anderson will
quick.
I don't think Anderson will like make up for that loss of Brown, because I think Brown, what the ideal scenario was to have Brown and Hopkins together,
right?
And I think that would have been, because looking at it from an outside perspective, I feel as though for them to get Brown, obviously there was a mixture of we're going to be losing our top wide receiver for 6 games, but also I feel as though they don't have the confidence in Moore. That they think that he will take that second wide receiver position. So that's another reason why they brought in Brown. And so now you lose Brown and you don't have the complement to Hopkins. And I don't think the complement's on the roster. And I don't think Anderson is necessarily going to do much there, to be honest. But
we'll see.
That's me.
I think I'm a little higher on Anderson than you guys are. Or wait, you said he's better than Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with Noah on that one, but
It's tough.
yeah, I'm not sure where I stand now.
No, I mean I agree.
You guys are
with
good
what's- yeah.
at
I agree with what CJ was saying because I think the idea was to have DeAndre Hopkins be DeAndre Hopkins. and
Yeah, it
have
was never for
Marcus
Brown
just
to be the
run.
top guy, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
right.
that's what
I
he
was
was
thinking.
forced
I
to
always
be.
had in my head that Brown was replacing Kirk, right? And
Yeah.
just in a different way. I mean, he's
Yeah.
not.
He's
He's
fast.
not
but
the
what
same
is
kind
more,
of
though?
receiver as Kirk.
But then what is more though?
Another receiver on the roster.
Like their slot guy.
I mean, to me, that's who you would have thought would have replaced Kirk, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think they saw it. I don't think they see
Right.
it.
And so I just thought, Brown coming in, I just thought it was a mixture of them losing Hopkins, obviously. I think it was like, okay, we want to stay competitive in those first 6, which what are they? Are they 3-3 or are they 2-4?
One of those.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure. I know the AFC West is terrible, but in the AFC East is a bull.
Yeah. So I just thought that they'd be trying to hold out, trying to stay. And I think with Hopkins coming back, I think they will be a lot better. But I question what Anderson will do.
Yeah,
They're 2-4.
2-4.
Well,
But the Rams
that's
aren't
not terrible.
better. San Francisco's not. I mean, there's no one who jumped out in that race, right?
Yeah.
No, because the Seahawks, Rams, and 49ers are all tied at 3.
All 3-3. Right. So you get Hopkins back. You get the best replacement you can for Brown. Is Brown done for the season? Or
Yeah, it's a foot. I think it's a Liz Frank.
Oh, okay.
They said foot, and I don't know what else happens to your foot. That's a season ending.
Yeah. Turf toe. Oh. Okay, so did you watch the whole KC game, CJ?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did you think of Saran Neal's play?
It's a good question. I think he's an aggressive player. I think he plays, aggressively, and I think he, made some mistakes because, I mean, I don't think like a lot of what he got called on, I feel like I didn't necessarily feel as strongly. Like I didn't feel like it was as bad of a penalty as I thought, as like, they made it out to be. But I don't know. I feel like he did. I like him. I like how he plays, but I mean, I think he plays with aggressiveness, and then when you do that,
He's there.
it puts you in a
Like
position.
here's why I bring it up, because Noah and I hit on it in the beginning of the show. So my thought was that Neal, they played Neal to play against Kelsey. Like they didn't had Edmonds or Milano played Kelsey this year. They put Neal on him, and Neal was there to rough him up and that kind of thing. But then they changed the game plan to work around him, and put guys like Schuster up against him instead of Kelsey. And like I was saying to Noah, like it was Schuster, like everyone was saying it's Schuster's coming out game. But it was that 40-yard touchdown was caused by Neal and Hamlin running into each other when Schuster caught it and then just ran for the rest of the way with no one in front of him. So I don't know. I mean, I like you said, I like Neal. He's so important on special teams. I mean, the Bills won. right? Frazier's playing, and this is what we were saying earlier. Frazier's at the top of his game right now. The Bills won, so it's hard. It's hard to take anything away and say like this was a problem. But like, I think you said this too. If these are the things that we're complaining about, then we're in a pretty good spot. But
Yeah.
and I guess with Trey coming back, that will
That'll push
probably
everybody down.
that will probably change how they play Kelsey.
Yeah. And just going forward too, how he
Right.
uses the rest of everybody.
Yeah. Good point. So we're gonna skip talking about the Sabres because the show has gone for a while.
Okay.
Unless you want to.
But shout out to them. I do want to say, I don't know if either one of you guys saw the game last night, but it was awesome.
I read about it.
I'll just give some quick highlights. First, Tage Thompson remembered that he's big. Also, ridiculous puck control.
Goals.
Second, Edmonton was so frustrated.
Yes.
Like they were visibly upset. Like there was anguish on their face that like when they were missing shots, like some of the stuff that they were attempting to was like they were just trying whatever they could. And there were a couple times where like players were just like, what the like you're just like, what are we supposed to do? Also, Eric Comrie, if this is the way he's gonna play,
46 saves out of 48 shots.
yeah, he was
against
lights
Edmonton.
out. He was lights out, calm the whole time. I don't think we've ever seen a performance like that from a Buffalo goalie since Miller. And also Matthias Samuelsson is earning so far every cent of that contract.
And so is Lyubushkin.
Yeah. He's the Von Miller. That's what I said last night on our Twitter he's the Von Miller of the Buffalo Sabres.
Lyubushkin is. I hope he's not out for a while.
Oh, I don't know, but that puck he took, that did not look good. But he tried it and then couldn't. So,
yeah.
But he's day to day. So
we'll in other Sabres news, they sent down Anders Bjork.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
But he cleared waivers.
It was interesting.
In Rochester.
They had Quinn sit last night and just watch, and they played Peterka. And one of the things that they said on the post game show, right? But one of the things they said on the post game show was that when Granato talks about what Quinn needs to do, he talks about Peterka because he's like, yeah, Peterka doesn't do, like some of this stuff well that you would like an NHLer to do, but Peterka is able to slow everything down.
Yep.
And can visualize it all. He's like, Granato was basically like, Quinn can't do that. Like Quinn can't like slow it down. Like he's not letting like the game come to him. Like he's just trying to force things, and he's trying to and that was something though that was very prevalent in training camp with him. Was trying to force things, trying to make the play, trying to force a shot.
But the other part of training camp was that he
had right. I mean, he made the roster.
He was scoring all over the place in training camp.
But I think it was good for him. The main point was it was good for him to sit last night and watch.
Yeah.
Just watch.
Yeah. So the scorers last night were Tage, Dahlin, Peterka, and Tuck had an empty net goal. But Peterka's was a breakaway. Tage, he skated through two guys, and
including Darnell Nurse.
And
not skated by, he skated around them. He did 6'5",
and then just sort of used his height to just let the puck just go into the net. Like it seemed like slow motion.
He just went like this. He did like an S, and then just put it in.
Yeah.
But
it didn't even look like he took a shot.
He didn't. He was just
like moving the puck around, and then just went, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, let it move into the and then like you said, Comrie. I mean, I was reading articles about him today that basically said people think he's gonna break out all across the league.
That's why
over the league. People are like, look, he played almost 200 games in the AHL before coming up. they're like he's ready.
He also had like I think he also had like a 2 goals against last year. So I mean, he was really good for Manitoba. I know that much. Like he was really good in the AHL, like really, really good. So yeah, I mean that's why the Sabres brought him in.
And one of the things is that they said that he's an example for UPL.
Yes.
That because UPL, like that, I was actually reading that they're obviously still very high on UPL, and they're like he's only 23, and it's okay for a 23-year-old to be in the AHL still.
The other thing is that they said is they were like bringing in Comrie though also like from the beginning when they first signed Comrie also didn't exclude UPL from making the roster. I mean, if UPL was great in training camp and all that, he would have made the roster and they would have had to figure out what to do with Comrie. But the main thing that they said to UBL was, we want you to play games.
Right.
So it was either, I think what it would have been was he would have beaten out Comrie here and Comrie would have gotten sent down during that period.
But someone would have picked him up.
Well, you have that period of time where there's no waiver claims. So they could have sent him down then and then called him back up when there was an injury. So but I think that or it was UPL kind of looks like he needs a little bit more seasoning.
Well, again,
and they send him down.
Does.
But he does, right?
They think he's a year away.
Which I'm good with. I mean, if UPL and Comrie are your goalie tandem and Comrie actually is able to show that, I mean, that allows Craig Anderson to retire now.
Right.
Like also, I mean, Craig Anderson also does still look good at 42. Like, it's just, I don't know what these goalie coaches are putting in their Wheaties, but like, geez.
Well, the guy who UPL worked with in the off season is also the Sabres goalie coach now. Now, like he wasn't then, but he is now, or something. I don't know, or an assistant coach or something. And so he was talking about Comrie and was saying like how level-headed, how steady Comrie is, and like
it's
all
funny,
they had
like,
all these players say like on the Sabres, they had all these players saying how calming he is and how technically sound Comrie is.
Yes, you saw that a lot last night.
And like I said, he played like 200 games in the AHL, and they were trying to get that across to UPL, who's only played like 80 games in the AHL. And you know what I didn't realize was Ryan Miller played over 170 games in the AHL before he played with the Sabres.
And also, though, UPL was fine with bringing in Comrie because he was like
competition,
right? You know?
Right.
And I mean, like, it's and they believe in UPL and they want UPL to be the guy here. But it's funny about Comrie because it's like he was so fine during the game, and then they did the post-game interview and he was like, yeah, you know, it was great. I was like surrounded by these guys and I really wanted to fight for them and it was really great. And I was like,
that's what they were saying.
Whoa.
They were saying in the post-game that he was like, he could have played another game right then.
I was like, bro, how many smelling salts did you have? I was like, oh my God. He's like, yeah, no, he's like his hands on his hips. He's like rocking back side to side. He's got his eyes really wide. He's like, yeah, no, this is great. He's like, I love these guys. He's like, I really rather fight for them really, really hard. And he just kept like repeating that over and over again. And they're like, yeah, but like, what was it like to win? Like, you know, get your first win as a Sabre. He's just like, yeah, no, it was great to play with these guys. It was just great. I love playing for them. It was great.
It sounds like Bull Durham or something where they're training Nuke Lelouch on how to take an interview. And then one of the starting conversations is Jokiharju becoming a problem already.
Yeah, you're 3 games in.
You're 3 games in. I know, but it's something to look out for because his numbers are not doing well.
Yeah, whatever.
His advanced stats. But they beat Edmonton 4-2, and they play Calgary tonight.
And tomorrow. And they
tomorrow, sure.
Got to pick between that and is Denver playing again?
No, it's another orange. The Bears.
Oh,
No,
gotta pick
that's
between-
Monday.
Oh, that's Monday.
Patriots Bears is Monday.
Who's tomorrow?
It's a good
Who's
one.
Thursday?
Cardinals, New Orleans.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's not bad.
Okay, yeah, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
I
These-
mean, they've been
there's
both teams are
Kyler
not
and-
good, but I mean, to me, like those teams interest me. I don't know why. Like they're not.
Yeah.
Because that'll be a good game because it'll be close and Kyler will do something.
Both teams
cool.
have stars on
Yeah.
their roster,
Oh, yeah.
which is more than you.
They've
can say
been. I mean,
for-
the Saints have been getting it done with Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara playing in Wildcats. So, like, this game's gonna be weird. That's why
Yeah.
this is intriguing.
But Jameis is close to coming back, so
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back this week though. I don't think he's
What's
gonna
the,
they've been using
they said he was
Dalton.
healthy
Well,
last
yeah.
week and they sat him.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess healthy. There's a degree of healthy, but they said that
Right.
he was there for reserve. It's like a guy could be in reserve. I don't understand why he can't play.
Yeah. That's interesting. Is it still his back that's broken?
Is his back broken? I don't know.
Like that's what he was playing with last year was a broken back. I remember that.
Really,
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is this year.
But
Where's our stat
back
guy?
and ankle.
back and ankle.
I mean, he was back-to-back limited as of yesterday, but I mean, Yahoo basically said it seems like they've turned to Dalton.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They really need to turn to Taysom Hill.
They got to pay him
No.
though. That's the problem.
But he can't throw.
I don't care. He's on my roster.
Oh.
They
Yeah, I
gotta
know.
turn
It'd
to
be
him.
nice.
And
It'd be nice
CJ
to
picked
put him
up
in there more.
Pitts, so I couldn't do my sneak,
Huh?
and made me mad.
Yeah, I needed a tight end this week.
I didn't even know Pitts was out there.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm
Yep,
like the
cool,
team
thanks.
though that has all the good tight ends. I have Kittle,
You're
Njoku, and
loaded.
Everett.
I have too
I
many
know I am,
running
and I'm
backs.
not-
I saw
for
you
my
pick
own
up.
good.
I need running backs.
I need better receivers.
I have
I have
fantastic
some.
receivers. I do. I have
like running backs
Adams.
sitting on the
I have
bench
Jamar
because
Chase,
I can't
Keenan
play 'em all.
Allen, Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, David.
He just
Montgomery,
said he has
Jonathan
running
Taylor.
backs.
Well, yeah, you
He
don't.
needs receivers.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're
there's
giving
no
up one of those
receivers for
two
him,
running
there's
backs,
no
those
running
first
back.
two that you mentioned?
You're giving me Barkley or Kamara?
Yeah, right. You're giving those up?
Depending on what the offer is.
I would give Barkley I mean, it'd have to be insanely large for Barkley right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
I have him and McCaffrey in a 10-team league. These guys have no idea what they're doing. And I have Hill. And I just don't think anybody's going to come close to me in that league.
Okay. Yeah.
I need a quarterback. Really, that's what I need.
I'll trade one of my three.
No, because yours are like
I have Geno Smith on the trade block, or I guess Dak, but I mean,
Would you rather have Cousins or Geno Smith?
Cousins.
What about David Carr?
Smith is like a number 6 quarterback. Thank you very much.
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
What is his trade value worth right now?
Exactly, a lot.
No, that's what I'm saying. So who would you rather have? Who would you rather be working with?
Yeah, not for
To
trade
make a
value.
trade for.
Not for trade value wise.
Who would you rather be working with to make a trade?
I don't know. I
So-
don't trust. I mean, okay, but realistically, do we trust Geno Smith is going to keep this up all year?
With the wide receivers? Yeah.
He could, I guess, with those wide receivers. Yeah. Oh, that's the other possibility for the Bills
Well,
backup next year is Drew
for
Lock.
Cousins. Drew Lock.
Drew Lock for the Bills backup next year.
I'm good.
That's my
No.
other thought.
Veto. No,
You're vetoing it,
he's not good.
Drew Lock.
Nope.
He can move.
I don't care. He threw what 4 picks in that final preseason game.
Yeah,
when
but we
he
have
was, like,
good
that
coaches.
close to, yeah, I don't care. I don't like him.
Okay. So, okay, ready? Lightning round here. I don't know how to say it. Were you happy for Dawson Knox that he caught a touchdown for his brother? I mean, I don't know. It was nice to see, right? Because Knox has had a tough season. He had a
Yeah.
touchdown, then he pointed to the sky.
Yeah,
it was
cool.
a really nice moment.
Yeah.
You know. How about Tennessee Volunteers?
Yeah, taking down Alabama.
Down goes
Yeah.
Bama.
Down goes Bammer.
That's great to see.
Baseball playoffs. Scale of 1 to 10. How interested are you?
Like a 3, but like the games have been good, and I've seen.
Yeah. Who are you pulling for?
Don't care.
Do you know who the final 4 are?
San Diego, Yankees, Astros, Phillies.
Yeah, that's 4.
I'll pull for the Phillies.
I'm pulling for San Diego. Who are you pulling for? Are you a specific team? I would have.
Did the Yankees beat the Guardians?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Yankees, Astros, Padres, Phillies.
Phillies.
Bryce Harper and friends
Bryce Harper.
and Thor.
Yeah.
Sabres could have had Zagras over Cousins.
Don't care.
Don't care?
Don't care.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yep. Tua says, I don't remember being carted off. And he's starting this week.
Does he mean against us or?
No, the second one where he was actually carted off.
Oh, that makes sense, though, to say that. If it's the second one, that makes sense to say that. Yeah. No, I mean, whatever.
Okay.
I mean, we said what we're gonna say on Tua. I mean, I think it's a conspiracy or whatever, and it is what it is at this point. He's gonna start this week, and if he sucks and can't throw a football, everyone knows why, and that's the way it is.
And that's the way it is.
All right. So we're in week 7, right?
Yep.
Lightning round. Here we go. CJ. You're up. Green Bay. Win or lose?
Washington, Green Bay win.
No. This is the Bills' schedule going forward.
Oh, sorry. I'm way off. We're beating Green Bay.
Jets.
Winning.
Minnesota.
Winning.
Cleveland.
Winning.
Detroit.
Winning.
New England.
Winning.
Jets again.
Winning.
Miami.
Winning.
Chicago.
Winning.
Cincinnati.
Loss.
And New England.
And that's it. Winning.
I think they went out.
You think they went out? Wow.
I kind of do too, but I just have to have the one because
I mean,
wow. That would be amazing. I mean, that would be amazing if they did. But you thought they were going to win out coming into the bye, though. Like,
that's true.
You were going to pre-bye win in, I don't know.
I'm going to say they went out. Whatever. I'll go with that. I'll be the most optimistic out of all of us.
Okay, hardest games on the schedule: Minnesota, Cleveland, New England, Cincinnati. Are the Jets on that list?
You said Miami, right?
For real?
I didn't say Miami, no.
I mean, I think you have to give them that because we
won.
lost. Yeah.
Is New England on the list?
No. I don't think you're worried. I think both those quarterbacks are like the same right now. I don't think you're worried. Doesn't matter who's in. Yeah.
Jones. Yeah. But I thought Jones was so good in the future, in the next. Yeah.
That was
so. Is Cleveland anything to worry about?
No, because
it's
Watson will be back.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But it's Chubb.
Yeah, but they've shown that one-dimensional offenses they can shut down really easy. So I mean, if they're
You
able
don't
to,
believe in Peoples Jones?
no, I don't know. It's more I don't believe in Jacoby Brissett.
All right. Yeah. We played
All
him
right.
before.
All right, so we're not worried about Cleveland?
No. Cincy at the end of the season makes me nervous.
Yeah, just
So
because it's at the end.
Cincy, Miami.
I would
I'm
put
worried about Minnesota. I think
They've
they're
been playing really
legitimate.
well.
They're at least legitimately competitive.
I think we can make Cousins make some mistakes.
Yeah. He's been better.
I feel like the Minnesota game though could be one of those games where it's like if everything just swings in the Vikings' favor, it's gonna be like one of those days where you're like, "What are we doing?"
Right.
Where
just
it's like they're
punch
gonna
in the
have like
face.
like Isaiah's gonna fumble on a punt, like Josh is gonna have like some
Try to play hero ball or something.
interception
Yeah.
or some
Yeah.
dumb fumble. Like it's just gonna be like these dumb mistakes.
Jacksonville
Where
game.
where they're gonna be like, "Yeah, well,
Do we think
we
that
shot
they'll
ourselves in the
possibly
foot."
split with the Jets?
No,
I think the Jets are more worrisome now than preseason.
I think the Jets are worrisome, but I don't think the Jets are worrisome enough to think that they'll beat us. I just don't
No.
know.
No, I think if you go into that game though expecting to beat
The only
them,
reason I agree is because of their quarterback position.
Yeah.
But the rest of that team looks good, man. They're set up for a while.
I mean, but the Bills have played good defenses, and that our line has held up. And sure, we can't run the ball, but we have a Josh, and it's like that defense. When that defensive line gets that pressure, and that defensive line shows up, and they start knocking the quarterback over, they rattle those quarterbacks back there.
Yeah.
I mean, Von Miller caused that Mahomes interception. Von Miller. I mean, they closed out that game against Lamar Jackson. By making him get a little shifty and nervous, and
Yeah.
they murdered Ryan Tannehill.
Yep.
and Matt
Von
Stafford.
has been everything we could ask for.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and only playing 60% of the snaps, which is perfect. That's the perfect amount for me. So
right, because then you can just ramp it up for the playoffs.
Ramp it up for the playoffs, and they ramped it up at KC. He played 75,
and he looks fine to me.
Right. Now he gets 2 weeks rest. Well, 1 week rest, and then back to practice. So,
what do you think they do? You didn't say. I say they win out. CJ say they just lose to Cincinnati.
I think they lose 3.
To who?
I don't know.
Okay. See, that's the thing is I want to I feel like you can't sit here and say, oh, they're gonna win out, but it's like on the other hand, it's like
you look at the games. And
the games. It's like who the hell is gonna beat them?
Yeah, but it's that kind of thing.
I mean, the only truly the only game is Cincinnati, just because if that offense is able to get going and the defense isn't on and whatever, that can just turn into a shootout. But it's like even with that game, it's like, do we not trust Josh to win in a shootout?
Well, I mean, that'll be a great game, right?
Yeah.
And if Trey turns into a shutdown corner, we hope will be, then maybe he'll be able to shut down Chase, right?
Right.
I just think the Jets keep getting better and better. I think that they might split with the Jets. I think they'll destroy Miami on the next one. I think they have something to prove, like they have to prove with Kansas City.
Yeah.
But I think the ones to worry about to me are Minnesota, yes, Cincinnati. I do feel like the Jets are something to worry about. And then New England, they just always have a problem with New England. And I don't know.
I don't know either. And that's the thing is it feels weird to say they're going to win out. But then at the other hand, it's like you look at the second half of the schedule and it's like, what are these teams going to do? Like, do we trust all these teams to be able to go back and forth with Josh and over again? Do
we trust the Bills to be able to do it every week?
But that's the other thing. But it's like at this point, it's like they have,
Right.
So it's like I feel like for me, I'm just gonna keep thinking it's gonna happen until it doesn't. Because I mean, even against Miami, that wasn't. I don't know.
That was the Heat's fault.
That was just fluke. That was just a fluke.
That was the
Whatever.
Heat's fault. Wow, we've gone for a while.
Yeah. You got
Okay.
anything else?
The NBA started.
Yeah. Cool.
That's what we're going to talk about for the NBA. The DC has announced a new Superman movie starring Henry Cavill.
Okay.
So he is sticking with DC.
Alrighty.
CJ froze. Now you unfroze.
No, he's there.
Okay. So new Superman movie. He allegedly might make a cameo in Black Adam. There's a lot of cameos in Black Adam. They are not going the Flashpoint route.
With what?
With their future for the DCEU.
Oh, okay.
They're not going that direction. And that's why they wouldn't. The previous two people in charge of DC wouldn't make a Superman movie because they were so hung up on Flashpoint. And the new guy, who we couldn't stand, has said, no, we're going to make a Superman movie. Everyone loves Henry Cavill as Superman. Why are we not doing this?
Good for him. All right. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
CJ, anything to add?
No, sir.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's get out of here then. If you made it to the end, we appreciate you for watching. As always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Interact with us on Twitter.
And especially subscribe. There are other newer podcasts out there who are getting more subscribers. Jerks. I love our
Yeah,
viewers.
that's the way to do that. Anyway, interact with us on Twitter at GameDay716. You want to say the dead people?
Yeah, we decided we're going to switch your line and my line. So, rest in peace to Robbie Coltrane, also known as Hagrid from the Harry Potter series, and Yuri Kirpitenko, who was a Ukrainian conductor who would not conduct music for Russian troops, so they killed him.
All right. Well, as always, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.
Stay sunny, Buffalo.
Canada.